over 3 years of doing TikTok that just about everything is content. Any opportunity I am able to get my camera out is like an opportunity for me to make content.
Welcome to Behind the Live Podcast, the show that takes you backstage to uncover the real stories and strategies that power your favorite creators. Now, let's get into it.
So I'd like to welcome everyone here to Behind the Live. It's been a while since we had our last episode, so welcome in, welcome in. We have an exciting guest today and some interesting news coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that. I'd like to welcome everyone to the program and introduce our wonderful guest today, which is Just Jess. Wonderful streamer, been online for 2 years now?
3 years.
Yes, and this is your full-time dedicated job.
It is.
Yes, so it's a lot of information to learn from today. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this? What kind of made you push that button to go live? What inspired you to go on TikTok?
So I first started live back in maybe 2021 or 2022 when I was a server, and I remember clicking the button to go live, and I don't even know how to turn it off. So I just closed out the app and like swiped off and just let the app just run in the background. And I think after 10 minutes of inactivity, it just like automatically ends. So that's just what I let my live do. But I had a friend that started going live, and she's like, "You should try it out." It was for my birthday. I had just started my master's degree, and I got on live with her. And I had the best time. I met so many really cool people. So that's kind of what started my hobby at the time, because I would go live maybe once a week, 3 times a week. Like, it wasn't much that I went live, but it started out as a hobby and then it became my full-time gig.
So what kind of really pushed you over that line to realize that this is a great opportunity for you? You know, what was that point of connection that like inspired you to keep going live?
Well, I had a job in my master's working as a receptionist, and I loved my job, but it felt like it was like annoying to have to go to work. Like, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get, like, I could be on live right now." I remember trying to sit at the desk at my reception job and trying to go live, but I worked at a government building, so I couldn't go live. So I was always thinking about ways I could get better with live. So that's kind of what like started me. It was all I could think about was what I could do to make myself better, watching other streamers, what they were doing, what worked for them. That's kind of what was my driving factor.
So was there any creators that you kind of looked up to? What inspired you to do content or anything to that effect?
When I first started live, no, I didn't really know anybody that went live other than me and my friend. So the only other thing I knew about it was her. But as I kind of went on my own path, some of the big streamers that I look up to, and they don't even know that I look up to them. I love Sadie's live and how, free she is, that you could be yourself plus more on live without someone. Big thing is there's always going to be someone for you. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that, but like seeing her do that is what made me think that.
Yes, and she does some kind of crazy, outrageous stuff. We've all seen her lives on the mornings, and
And Frank, I love Frank's live too.
yes, I've seen several of his things too, and it is interesting as creators. There's such an option here with TikTok, and such an opportunity too, to not only a financial opportunity, but to meet and expand your own horizons with people. And the good and bad thing I always say with TikTok is it's a great thing because you're able to meet people you would never have the opportunity to. But the bad thing is it locks you inside of the little screen too. So there's a bittersweet sometimes with it.
Right.
But with the content that you produce, both in your live and also your videos and stuff on your different platforms, how do you find your inspiration? Is there a thing, or it's just something that pops into your mind? How do you decide, hey, this would be a great idea to make a content with or for?
I have learned over 3 years of doing TikTok that just about everything is content. So, if I can record it, it can be a video, it can be something I can talk about on live. Um, so any opportunity I am able to get my camera out is like an opportunity for me to make content. And I think about that a lot when I'm out at the grocery store or like driving down the road. I'm always thinking like new things that I could create. Um, but I mean, I line dance, so that's something that I always make content about. Um, I also love just making like outfit of the day videos. Things that feel really niche to me are the things I tend to stick with. And I do have two accounts where one of them I do TikTok shop and one of them I just do like TikTok live. And the other one I kind of wanted to focus that on like my house and like moving into it.
Mhm.
So like I said, just about everything to me can be content if you make it content.
So you mentioned TikTok Shop. So you are an active seller with TikTok Shop,
Yes.
and how does that work out for you? How difficult was that to start? Do you have a what kind of products do you gravitate towards? Is there anything special or anything? We'll touch base with
It's
that.
very difficult. It's so difficult actually. I found it to be so difficult that it's honestly disheartening because I see how I like to think I'm good at live, and then to go do TikTok shop and I get like one sale. Just last week I got my first 3 sales in 1 week. I'm over
Hmm.
the moon ecstatic about the fact that I sold 3 products in 1 week. I couldn't
Hmm.
believe it. And it was 3 different ones. I think the thing about that is you have to be consistent. That goes with live. You have to be consistent about doing things. If you stop, I feel like the algorithm's not going to remember you doing that thing. And
Right.
if you switch up, that's also, it's not going to remember you. So TikTok shop has been hard, but it's a lot of work. I like to look for products that kind of already fit into like who I am. So like I sold a pair of boots. Um I sold a pair of press on nails. Things
Yes,
that
I got
relate.
those. Thank you. So they were
Yes, you're
great.
so
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah. I'm about ready to put them on this week. So
I was wondering who got
yeah,
those.
that was me. Yeah, that was me. So
But yeah, so the things that like that fit into my niche already are the things that I gravitate towards.
do you find it difficult to find different products that are offered on TikTok Shop, or you just kind of pick and choose? You're scrolling, and that's something I would buy. That's something I stand beside. Have you thought about kind of branching out into different products that are maybe outside your comfort zone?
Yeah, I definitely thought about products outside of my comfort zone. I do because you can apply for free samples all the time, and I do that. The hardest thing about being a new TikTok shop creator is finding companies who are willing to send you free samples because not everybody can get the refundable samples and buy them every time they want to sell something. But honestly, it's things that you have every day around the house that people are selling on TikTok shop. Like I have the Bio Ionic curling iron and I already had it, but it's selling on TikTok shop. So I just added it to my showcase. It's already something that I'm using. So that is something that I think about. But finding product companies that's willing to send you the free products as a new TikTok shop creator is the hard part. That's the hard part.
Yeah, you talk about being a new TikTok Shop creator and stuff. Do you find that it's difficult to, I don't want to word this, with growing that account, with growing your base, your followers? Do you find, with opening up TikTok Shop, have you gained followers from it? Do you find comments coming through with your following that you currently have now? Do you find those people more interactive with your TikTok Shop showcase?
So
Have you seen anything like that?
that account that I'm using was my first account that I went live on.
Hmm.
So I already had about 22,000 followers on it. And I had already been accepted into the TikTok shop program, but I just recently did it. I do find it hard to start that account over as a TikTok shop account because of the demographics that already watch my account. The people that I'm trying to sell products to are people my age, um, and that's not what is reflected in my analytics. So it's hard to sell products like that when the people who are watching my content aren't those people, which again is one of the reasons I think that um, maybe sellers don't really want to work with me is because of my analytics and
Hmm.
my videos for TikTok Shop don't do as good as the ones where I'm just making a video or doing
Right.
something. But
Okay.
recently, that's originally how it started. But recently, the account has started to get more traction for TikTok Shop for the things that I put in my bio that I'm starting to make videos about. Those things have been growing.
Okay. So, what's like one piece of advice you could give to a creator watching this now that wants to start a TikTok shop or wants to go live? They just doom scroll and kind of check things out, but they're too afraid to go live. What kind of advice could you give these individuals?
Um, I think going live and posting videos is vulnerable as it is. If I'm going to be honest,
Hmm.
I think the most important thing, this is what I did. I just blocked everybody from my hometown. No one could see my content from my
Okay.
hometown.
All right.
Got a
There you
secret account.
go.
The account I'm on right now was my secret account. Like no one knew about it. I blocked everybody from my hometown. Like I said, it's vulnerable to put yourself out on the internet and make yourself look like a fool to some people. So just block the people that you don't want to see it. That's literally my advice, honestly, like
All right.
truthfully.
So I have to ask: is your parents on the blocked list?
No, they're not. My dad doesn't have a
Okay.
TikTok, but my mom watches my live.
Okay.
She
Gotcha.
always
Gotcha. Had to ask
comments
that
too.
one.
Yeah, she knows. She knows the drill.
So everyone from your high school basically is on your block list.
I After I became successful, I unblocked them.
Okay, so now it's like ha ha ha. I
Yes.
got you. I got you. You
Yes,
got a little
yes.
arrogance point
Well,
there.
the
Okay.
reason that I say that is because I remember going live for the first time by myself without my friend that I started going live with. And I remember seeing someone from my hometown. I don't think they realize that when you share my live, it tells me that who shared my live. I don't
Hmm.
think they knew it. They shared my live out to someone. And it made me uncomfortable. It made me think, oh, they're probably sharing it out like, oh, look at Jessica. She's trying to be on TikTok now. So
Hmm.
I just blocked them all. And then I just full sended it all the way to the end where I am now.
And go get it. And that's
Yeah,
one thing too. Through your diligence, you have become successful and made this a career as a content
right.
creator. And getting on that, you produce content, you go live every day. The driving force, of course, is connections and money. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're here for. But what do you do? How do you keep your content fresh? How do you keep engaging with the thousands, tens of thousands of followers you have? And also, do you do anything specific to gain more followers?
Well, I am always on top of my analytics. I always watch what does well in my videos. I'm constantly checking them out. Um, I like to stay on top of trends too. I do think that's super important for me.
So what do you do like to encourage new creators? Do you have any kind of little special things you've
Oh,
developed over the time?
to get more people to like
Yeah.
join my live.
Yeah. And
So
to follow you and such.
this is one thing that some people say don't work. But I do run promotions on my account. I
Okay.
find that promotions really do work,
Hmm.
especially on videos. I'll put a promotion on my video before I go live, and I'll put for followers because the thing about promotions is you want them to retain people. You want people to stay. So getting followers from videos is super important. I'll run a promotion for $8 sometimes and I'll get 100 to 200 new followers just from that one 24-hour promotion.
Hmm.
So that's one of my tricks that people kind of don't really think about doing. Other than that, I'm constantly asking questions in my life, constantly giving people who are watching reasons um, to answer questions in the comments.
And stay engaged and stay interactive with
Yeah.
you. Yes, yes, yes. Now, when is there a way? you talked about, making comments and having points where they can ask questions, but do you have any other things that you might do that connects directly with your audience during your live broadcast?
Well, I like to think that I'm funny, so
Okay.
I like to think people stay because I'm absolutely hilarious.
Hmm.
I think the thing that sets me apart is I try to be so genuine. So being myself, whether I'm for people or for not for them, like that, they can stick around if they want. There's a lot of people on TikTok. So I think being myself is part of the reason people stick around.
So, how do you, there's a lot of bots, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, but how do you deal with that negative comments, those negative feedbacks, that real destructive criticism because someone had a bad day and they're going to take it out on you? How do you deal with those things on a daily basis?
It depends on the situation and my mood for the day, honestly. Um, Sometimes I like to take them as learning opportunities for people in my life. Like, hey, if you see that guy doing that, like, I'll I will also block you. This like
Hmm.
I always say on my live, I always have people come in. Like TikTok's not a dating app. Every comment I get like that, I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. TikTok is not a dating app. But just like mean people, it doesn't honestly bother me as much as it does on a comment on my video. If it's on my video, it bothers me. But if it's in my live, it's it's like, live. It doesn't bother me as much, but if it's on my video, it kinda does bother me, but then I just delete the comment.
Scroll and move on.
Yeah. Other than
So
that, there's nothing I can do about that because there's always gonna be someone that hates on you, and honestly, I feel like that just tells me I'm doing something right.
no, that's true. I've never heard that one. That does make very good sense because at the end of the day, um, yeah, that makes sense.
I'll
But
never
like,
forget the first time someone made a fake account of me. I was so excited. I was so excited. I was like, wow, someone thinks I'm
yeah,
big enough on this app that like they can use my content to scam people. I know it's awful, but like, wow, I cannot believe that someone even thinks of me to do that.
do you regularly check for those?
I do, yeah.
You keep finding them?
I haven't found one recently, and the last one I made friends with them actually. And every once in a while, I'll check in on them and be like, doing I'm so serious.
That's good. I never quite heard of that one either.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. During when you go live and stuff, different times of the day, you're kind of going live more mornings, more afternoons, more evenings. Do you have different specific time frames that work? Is there a different period?
I think for me, it's mornings, of course. I love
Hmm.
mornings. I like to get on anytime from like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then, kind of before that, kind of after that, depending on the day. But for different creators, I think it depends on your account. If you go live at night and you're like, hey, I think I actually want to switch this to daytime, do not expect your morning time lives to be anything like mine. Like, just as I can't get on at night and be going crazy like some of the streamers do at night, you have to be consistent in the time frames that you go live for them to be successful.
Okay. Do you find like a better time frame? What works better?
Me,
Or is it
if
just criteria to each individual creator?
I think it's per creator,
Okay.
but for me, like I said, mornings would. I
Okay.
mean, if I got on at night every single night and stopped going live in the mornings, my nighttime lives would be better. It's just to me what you put more effort into.
And that's what it gets into as always. It is about that consistency. It is
Yeah,
about building that following. And as you said, once you're in one time frame, that time frame works. If you move to a different time frame, you need to rebuild that. And that's what a lot of streamers don't understand because they just hit and miss all time frames, and they're upset people don't watch them or don't follow them and stuff. So,
yeah.
but during those slow times, during the hard time periods when you're literally talking to yourself for that one bot that's on TikTok, how do you stay positive? How do you stay inspirational? How do you stay driving through
Oh,
those times?
I feel like I've been doing that a lot recently, where I'm just sitting there and I'm like, gosh, I wish someone would talk to me, like
Hmm.
truthfully. So we have two options here. Either I can be lonely with another person and go battle someone and make them be lonely with me, or I can just start asking a bunch of questions. Eventually, there's hundreds of thousands of people on this app 24/7. Like,
Hmm.
not a single time that someone's not on this app. If I'm asking someone a question and no one's answering, someone is bound to hear it from the For You page eventually. Like, I can just keep talking and, you know, I have my little gimmicks that I do of like,
Hmm.
my sad music and stuff. And like, you have to come up with stuff like that that keeps people entertained. It doesn't mean that you failed as a streamer, that no one's talking to you. It just might means, someone doesn't resonate with the things that you're talking about right then. So you don't, it is hard. It is really hard when
Hmm.
someone's not talking to you, but you just got to keep talking.
And keep grinding away and getting it done.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too, as this is designed to give more insight for the different creators to get information that they normally wouldn't get,
Right.
or again, that person watching this clip and they are thinking about it. That's the purpose of this, is to bring inspiration from a creator that has done the grind, has been through the work, and know that there is an outcome of positive positive effect at the end of the at the end of the bridge. You just have to keep grinding and pushing through. Um, what is one thing that people get often wrong about a content creator? They have this illusion that they're going to go live, and next thing you know, they're going to be a meme, or they're going to be TikTok famous with 100,000 people, and those people and Charlie D'Amelio are going to be hanging out and at a Hollywood bar. What's some of those things that people always get wrong about you when you talk? Have you ever had some of those conversations where people from real life will be like, I watched your live. I never thought you were like this. Does live bring a different effect of you out?
I
You
have
know what I mean?
people that come to my mom's work all the time and say, "Oh, I saw your daughter on live. I saw your daughter on live," and I'm thinking, "Oh my god," because I try to be as real on live as possible. Oh, I don't like for people to think I'm any different off the camera because what would my account be about if it weren't about myself? So,
Very true.
um, I am no different off camera, and anybody who said that I'm not, that I'm completely different off camera. I disagree, honestly. That's the thing that would drive me insane. Things that people get wrong about being a content creator. I don't think people realize the work that actually goes into it. I'm not saying I'm a huge streamer on this app, but I'm successful enough to do it full time, and that's a
Hmm.
blessing.
And that is an accomplishment on its own,
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
build that following, to build the people around you that are
Right.
willing to support you because they enjoy your content. That is a huge
Exactly.
deal. That really is.
I think what people don't realize is there's an in between between starting out and the huge streamers or just in general content creators. There's people in the middle. And honestly, like I'm not fighting to get to the top. I am content where I am right now. And I think that's a misconception that people want to do is they just want to like straight line it straight to the top. But like that can't always be the goal when I'm just so content being in the middle, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
No, no, it makes perfect sense. And that's one of the things too that people get in their mindset. They're going to hit the live button and instantaneously they're going to have 5,000 people in the room. They're going to
Exactly.
be making, 100,000 diamond per battle, et cetera,
Yeah,
because they see this illusion that's being
exactly.
broadcasted on the FYP all the time.
Yeah, I feel like
So,
people who watch those big lives, like the live pros, and they're like, "Oh, I don't get that in my live. I'm not a good streamer." But the thing is, there's people who do far less than that that make that their full-time thing. So it is
Hmm.
possible. And I think that is, again, a big misunderstanding with going live is it's not about the huge amount of diamonds that they get, because that is unthought of. I couldn't even imagine. And I tell people I don't know if I could, but like you can still make it in the middle is the whole point of
Right.
that. You can still make it.
And that's segueing perfectly into our next question is, in your experience and the long, vast history you have, having the right mindset for someone to try to grow an account from zero, starting fresh, going through everything, what is the best mindset to have
Be
going into
optimistic.
this?
Be absolutely optimistic. I was in my master's degree in music. I was going to get my DMA and be a music teacher. And I just think I had a different calling from that. So just being optimistic about what I was doing at the time, I never would have thought in my whole lifetime that I would be doing this right now. Like I don't
Hmm.
sometimes it really does feel like a dream. It's like, what do you mean? I was sit on live and I talk to people all day. Like, I am a professional yapper. Like, that is my job title. Like, and
That's
it's
right.
so
You're a professional
progressive.
TikToker.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
just be optimistic, because it might not work out for you, but it might. If you got off live, say I was like, I'm gonna do a 1 hour stream. But what if you would have stayed a minute more? You could have met something that changed your life. So I'm always optimistic about my time, optimistic about my goals, just everything.
Now, with all the different platforms that are out there, do you stream with other platforms? Or are you specifically more TikTok only?
TikTok only. I only
Okay.
do
Have
TikTok.
you ever ventured to the other platforms?
I would like to eventually. I have tried the other platforms, like when
Mhm.
TikTok was like going down and stuff. But
Right. I
I
think
did
everyone did
try.
once. So
Yeah, I have the accounts for the other ones. I just haven't really used them.
now you do have like a Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, but I have Instagram and that's public, but my Facebook's
Mhm.
private.
Okay. So do you find you're able to get to another crowd using that different platform, which is IG? Do they come? Do you have crossing? Do they come into somebody's home? Do they come into your TikTok from your Instagram? Do you find any of that
It's the other way
effective?
around. People find me from TikTok to my Instagram.
Yeah.
I've only had one post on Instagram ever do like I feel like my I just have like a personal Instagram. It's not really like TikTok how it is, my
Okay.
job thing. So I have not done a good job of multi-marketing myself.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is like the one thing about you that people might be surprised to learn? You just talked about you have a master's degree in music. I mean, that's an accomplishment on its own, an achievement in
Yeah.
life to have a master's. I mean, that's one surprising thing. But is there anything else that someone's like, anything
Hmm.
you want to share?
I mean,
Anything
besides
you want to
having
reveal?
a master's degree, let me think.
I mean, do you have a ice cream fetish? Do you have a tattoo? Do you
Oh my God.
you
My
know?
DoorDash addiction is ridiculous. And
There
I
we go.
remember I calculated 1 year I spent like over $10,000 on myself on DoorDash. It's bad, and they honestly should sponsor me. I'm pissed. I'm
All
pissed
right, DoorDash, you hear
for real.
it.
I'm
You
here.
get free commercials here. So now, being with TikTok and being on it so long, one thing that we are also here, as you can see, agencies. Do you currently have an agency?
I do not have an agency.
Hmm. And we've all heard the stuff about a TikTok agency, the good, the bad, and the uglies. There are a lot of disingenuous companies out there. There are a lot of bad companies. There's a lot of great companies out there too that inspire creators. Do you feel in your growth and in your time frame, either having an agency would have been more of an advantage? Do you find that it would be more of a disadvantage, holding you back? Do you have any kind of comments or theories on agencies that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. I regret
Okay.
I regret not joining an agency when I first started. Um, I didn't know what they were. Like I said, the only person that I knew was the girl that I was going live with. I didn't know what ranks were. I didn't know what gift calories were. When I started, I didn't know anything. All I knew was I was getting these weird messages from these people being like, join my agency. I'm like, you're not taking my earnings. Like, come on now. Like, you're not
Right.
taking what I'm working hard for. So when they were messaging me, I thought they were all scams.
Right.
Um, and I did have legit people come forward and talk to me about it, but I was just like, yep, that's a scam. I'm not getting into that. I wish I could just like go back and just shake myself and say, join an agency because I would have had so many more opportunities. Because I'm not with an agency, I might not ever have the opportunity to go to TikTok headquarters unless I win one of the um what are they called? The campaigns
Yeah.
that we have.
Right. Right.
I'll never, I won't have protection when I get banned on TikTok.
So you feel that your account would have been better hooking and getting into the right agency?
Yeah, because when I first started this account, they were getting promotions for me, things that the things that I wasn't able to pay for at the time. They were paying to put promotions on my account, pushing me out, you know. It was when the agency had just started, so they were putting so much effort into making me successful. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that's a good point to bring up is when creators are looking for an agency, don't go for the biggest, most successful ones always because they have so many people that they're already successful. It's the small agencies that want to work with you one on one are the ones that genuinely want you to be successful other than for you to be a paycheck to them.
Very true, and that's one of those things that we do working with many smaller based creators. That's one of the inspirations too of starting this Behind the
Right.
Live podcast is to bring that information to inspire people to go live, to bring that information from a veteran streamer such as yourself and others to help inspire people, but also to find their niche, to find that
Right.
this can be done. This is a successful platform. You can make a lot of money depending on you. And again, it could also be very simplistic, but also very complicated. But it is a job. It is something that you need to treat like a job because it is, you get in what you get out.
Exactly.
Excuse me. You get out what you put in. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So now with your vast knowledge and everything with your analytics and stuff, what was your best to your best recollection? What was like your best week?
Depends on like the time of the
Okay.
year too. Um, I I will notice that around this time of the year, it's really quiet on live because 4th of July,
Hmm.
holiday, summertime. Back to school is kind of slow. Um, People are busy. Uh, right at the beginning of the year is really slow. But then you have like February, March, April, May, great view months. Birthdays, that's, the biggest I would say that's probably my biggest, like, views of the year would be my week or Halloween. Halloween is always a big, week on here for me because I do a costume every single day of the week. Um,
Okay.
and then Christmas time too.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about Halloween, and that's one thing too that is a great thing. You want to elaborate a little bit more on that because that is great content. That is very interaction with your audience and stuff.
Absolutely.
How did you come up with the idea of doing like a costume,
I love
a daily
Halloween.
costume?
It's my favorite holiday of the year. So I like to go all out. I decorate my whole room for Halloween. I actually decorate my streaming room for every holiday.
Hmm.
So Halloween would be no different. And it started out the first year with me just doing one costume. And then it just got to, you know what? It's Halloween week. I'm going to do a different one every single day. And the idea was if you like my costume today, just wait till you see what I'm doing tomorrow. And I wouldn't tell anybody what I was going to do. You could make your guesses, but I wouldn't tell anybody. You had to come back next day to see what I was dressed as.
Well, again, that's very interactive. That makes people come back. That gets
Yeah.
people excited about coming back to the live, and that's again one of those little things that you found out works great over time. And again, someone else can duplicate those things also to increase their views and their points. So one quick question is, how can people find out more about you? Obviously, we have your TikTok account, you have IG.
Yeah.
What's the best way of someone to see what's going on in your life on the dailies?
TikTok, that's the main thing, would be TikTok. I am on this app for more than I should be. Also, if you want to get in touch with me, I have a Discord. I communicate a lot in my Discord. That's
Hmm.
probably the easiest way to get in touch with me, like privately, and to find out what we're doing. That is always in the Discord. We also do a daily Bible verse that we have inside of there, so I always like to point people towards that. Um, you can find everything on my link tree that I have on my account.
Now, we do have some exciting news as we are growing as a platform, as we are growing as an agency. We have come across Jessica here and has been a great friend of the show, have been a great friend, and we are kind of handing the reins over. She is much better to look at than I am. I can deny it. You know what I mean? She's much more
No, don't
interesting
say
than I
that.
am. I'm boring. So, but no, you're going to see much more of her. She will be doing a lot more interactive interviews with a lot of different creators as she has been on the stream. She has been inside of TikTok for years. She knows a lot of interesting people. So we're going to be having a lot of this. What are we good doing? Like one, two streams, two interviews per week, one
We're gonna
interview a week.
try
What
2 a
is
week, yeah.
Okay. So a lot of great things are going to be coming up. A lot of great things and interesting things will be happening very shortly. So please stay tuned, keep an eye on it, and definitely like and subscribe. Follow us, follow Jessica, and we'll have some really great things coming up in the future. And also, again, if you are a TikTok creator, take the advice, sign up with a great agency. Elite Vault Agency, we are here for you. So she is our resident expert of TikTok. So please, if you have any questions, reach out to us here behind the live. You can even reach out to Jessica there. And yeah, we look forward to a great future and excited to see the new sun on the horizon. So thank you all very much for your time, Jessica. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this conversation, drop your thoughts and questions in the comments. We love hearing from you. Give this video a like, follow, and share it with your friends to help spread the word. Want to learn more? Visit BehindTheLive.com for past shows and links to all our social media. Till next time, keep creating, keep exploring, and we'll see you behind the live.